Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin.
Today, I choose love. From my past, my future, to my family and friends, I choose love. With everything we've got going on in the world today, all the hate and negativity, love is all we have, and it's all we need. If you can start each day with love, you will watch your world change. But the time is now to forgive, to forget, to move on. Do this and your perspective will change. If I know one thing, I would rather live in a world with love and openness than a world full of pain. And it's our choice to believe in something bigger than us. One world, one people, one love.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will be talking to you about power and believing in yourself. Have you ever felt powerless? Have you ever felt like you are not good enough? Wayne Dwyer said, and I quote, "You can be miserable or you can be motivated yourself. But whatever has to be done, it is always your choice." I'm going to repeat that quote. Wayne Dwyer said, "You can be miserable or you can motivate yourself. But whatever has to be done, it is always your choice." As elusive as power may appear, it lurks inside each and every one of us, waiting to be developed and unleashed to the world. And I am talking about your personal power, your ability to overcome limiting habits and beliefs that hold you back from the things you aim to achieve. I'm going to repeat that. I am talking to you about your personal power, not anyone else's power, your personal power, your ability to overcome limiting habits like smoking and getting up late or staying up late at night, and beliefs that hold you back from things that you want to achieve. And it also has to do with how you positively influence and impact the lives of the people around you in different ways. It is about you coming an unstoppable force in terms of accomplishments. I will repeat it. It is about you becoming an unstoppable force in terms of accomplishments, meaning you are going to do it. But this cannot happen if you don't believe in yourself or your potential. Benito Mussolini thought of himself as an intellectual, and his mental calmness and belief in himself was second to none, and he never second guessed himself. If he did, he would not be that powerful. How do you develop this type of power? That is a question to you. How do you develop the same power that Mussolini developed in himself? You can start by believing in yourself and changing your negative mindset. You should stop paying attention to the loud voices in your head telling you that you are weak, worthless, a failure, and all sorts of negative thoughts that put you down. And you can develop your power by focusing on your positive traits. This is because what you think about yourself influences the results you are getting in the everyday sphere of your life. I will repeat it. What you think about yourself influences the results you are getting in every sphere of your life. So what you think is related to results. For your power to develop, you need to stop second guessing yourself and trust you to make the right decisions at the right time with a positive outlook. What you have developed, your power, you can effectively channel it toward anything you set your mind to and progressively create the confidence and momentum to propel you forward toward your desired outcome. I'm going to repeat this. For your power to develop, you need to stop second guessing yourself. You need to trust yourself to make the right decision at the right time with a positive outlook. When you have developed your power, you can effectively channel it toward anything you set your mind on and progressively create the confidence and momentum to propel you forward toward your desired outcome. Now think of what Mussolini did. Mussolini first convinced himself that he was great. Then he went out and took this power and convinced his countrymen that he was great. On a final note, you are powerful. And with that power, you can boost your mental and emotional strength which can help you scale through hurdles, setbacks, and adversities in the most effective ways. This is what Socrates said. Socrates said, "Let him that would move the world first move himself." For you to make a difference, you first have to learn to move yourself by believing in yourself and in your inner power. Everything we need to achieve our inner power and inner peace is within us. But on our own, we struggle to tap into this. We have so much power deep within us, and it goes untapped for days, weeks, years, or most of our lives. This power can change your life. It can make you more confident, successful, and give your life a new meaning. What we need to learn more than anything is how to quiet our mind and how to truly connect with ourselves as we seek to tap into this energy that can make us the best possible version of ourselves. As a society, we are struggling with anxiety epidemics. You may feel awkward or uncomfortable during social situations. Maybe you slink down into your chair or you bite your fingernails. You avoid being a part of the conversation. You hide from your friends because you are uncomfortable. Maybe you pass up an opportunity at work because you don't want to step on anyone's toes or to speak up in a meeting out of fear or saying the wrong thing or being repudiated by a supervisor. Falling victim to your anxieties and fears weaken your standing with yourself. I'll say it again. Falling victim to your anxieties and fear weakens your standing with yourself. It prevents you from becoming the best version of yourself. Now listen to this. You must stand up for yourself to yourself. Again, you must stand up for yourself to yourself. You have to know that you are stronger than the urges you are feeling in that moment, that you have something to contribute, that you deserve happiness and success. You need to be able to communicate with yourself honestly and completely. You have to stand up to yourself for yourself. Your self confidence has to be stronger than your self doubt. Your self confidence has to be stronger than your self doubt. You got to this point in life. You know what you are capable of. It all depends on teaching yourself how to handle your anxiety and how to reestablish who you are in the face of a problem that is rapidly grabbing a hold of so many people. The first step in tapping into your inner power is quieting your mind so that you can properly conduct an internal dialogue. This is going to take some time to do well. Your mind is going so fast with all the ways things can go wrong, and you just needed to calm down enough to present to it the things that are going to go well. The right way, the successful way, the way you have been planning for, the way that you deserve on your road to happiness. The problems that you encounter in defeating your low self esteem is that you do not believe in yourself and you have formed a habit of not believing in yourself and you have surrounded yourself with low achievers and non believers. I'm going to say this again. The problem that you are encountering in defeating your low self esteem is that you do not believe in yourself and you have formed a habit of not believing in yourself and you have surrounded yourself with low achievers and non believers. Consequently, you have stopped growing and you are stagnant in your behavior. Unwittingly, you turn people off with who are high achievers and people who want more out of life. These people have left you by the wayside. Look around you. How many friends have you lost? How many friends have moved away and never looked back? They did not give you their forwarding address or phone number. Do not tell yourself that you lost your friends because they have more money than you, that they think they're better than you. Face the fact that you ran these people away. You refuse to grow up. You refuse to grow. You refuse to change. You are depressing to be around. You always have a problem that is never solved. You are boring and unpleasant to be around. You are unwilling to learn new things, to push harder, to get the things that you want. Face it, you are always looking for the easy way out. Maybe you lost these friends because they did not want to become involved in your silly criminal behavior. Maybe they valued their families more than you valued your children. They were not going to go to jail over a few easy dollars. Yes, that is correct. When you do not believe in yourself, that lack of belief leads you into criminal behavior because you become entangled with the word easy. Without thinkers in your life, you do not have anyone to introduce new and fresh ideas to you. So it is about time for you to learn to believe in yourself. If you can develop the habit of not believing in yourself, why can't you develop the habit of believing in yourself? You need to work at developing a positive habit of thinking. You need to develop a mantra. The problem is you do not believe, so how can I get you to believe? The first thing I want you to do is to leave low achievers alone. You need to find some better friends. You need to find some friends that actually know how to think and problem solve. Second of all, you need to start telling yourself, complimenting yourself on what you do well. You need to develop a mantra which says, I am going to change, I have changed, I'm going to find me a job, blah, blah, blah. In other words, I'm telling you to begin forming a habit of believing in yourself and stop looking backward and stop your criminal behavior.
Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
Don't be discouraged. Yes, you can live a life you want to and be the person you want to. Be a goal getter. Take this bold step to order and purchase these life-changing books so as to learn the detail of the struggles and limitations women faced before becoming the icons they are today. Then you can avoid mistakes too. I'm going to be honest with you here. There's only one inspirational book which has encouraged me not to be fearful as a woman, but to take a bold but little step to changing my low self-esteem and total life situation positively, so quickly and greatly. My little secret has been the book's titled Women of Courage. This book has been so amazing and knowledge-packed. Before now, there hasn't really been a right, perfect time to do the right or perfect thing. Most often than not, I've continued to wait for the right time to have things done, but it always never comes. Not until I got hold of the books, Women of Courage. To gain knowledge and becoming a woman of purpose, only then I was able to create the perfect and right time to grab every opportunity that confronted me. I was strong and determined never to get too comfortable and to stop growing. I was able to use and control my anger and temper for the right course. I became the woman of courage that was not deterred of what people say. I created and took advantage of every opportunity where people saw as limitations. Thanks to the story of many courageous and determined women of history. Interesting, isn't it? The success story of many women who read the book convinced me. Here I am, more refined, courageous, and living the kind of life I have always hoped for. You too can become the woman of courage and purpose everyone would admire, just like me. Hello. Are you downcast, emotionally and psychologically broken? Still finding it difficult realizing your deepest life aspiration and fulfilling your dream of ever becoming that courageous woman you have wanted? You don't have to worry anymore, as I provide you with a lasting solution to turn this around. I am delighted to introduce to you a 3 amazing and life-changing book series titled Women of Courage, Part 1, Part 2, and How to Become a Woman of Courage. These preach the personification of burning passion, courage, commitment, and inspiration we've simply felt compelled to express. These books are so inspiring. It motivates and encourages women to be more than the ordinary, influencing and controlling life situations you thought you couldn't do. It educates you to break the social norms and become the unexpected and respected woman leader. It teaches you to support your own mind, your dreams, and helping you unleash your potential. Now is the time to start thinking outside the box and overcoming emotional and psychological challenges. You too can change your world today. Why don't you challenge your fear and become a woman full of the freedom that you've always dreamed of? Compared to the millions of ideas and thoughts it shares for your happiness and courage, the books are super amazingly affordable. You also have the privilege of reading an excerpt from the book before placing an order. Simply go to the website touchedbythelight.us and click on the book cover to learn more about these adventurous books. Do not compromise your dreamed freedom, strength, and boldness. I would highly recommend that you give this a shot. Best, Women of Courage.
At this juncture, I'm going to introduce some information on reading. This is extremely important. Reading will determine the consequences of your life. Reading will help you learn how to deal with the problems of low self-esteem. Reading will help you learn a new profession. Reading will help you learn how to deal with other people.
We at Touched by the Light are on a continuous search to help the less fortunate of us. While the most float on the surface of life problems, dealing with everyday issues, some of us have to face a lack of the most basic needs in life, and unfortunately, that lack, with time, only gets worse. We feel that when we renovate the life of the most vulnerable populations, when we see the touching and the shining smile on their faces, our life means something again. Our hearts fulfill with happiness. We feel alive and present, and our day comes true. In our latest projects, we help the people we serve. We help the women in need, and we help the people who ended in prison after non-stop society rejections. Our secret? Education. Not schools, not universities, but books. We believe in self-education. We believe that by reading, light strikes through into the lives of people, hence the name Touched by the Light. Our core belief is that when we help people read, we renew their minds, we relieve their suffering, We show them that a future is an option, and having goals is also an option, but the past is the past. You know, we have a saying at Touched by the Light. We say that the future is only a reflection of the present. What you invest into right now is what sculpts your future.
The book Life Saving Advice presumes to give women and young girls advice about their lives. The assumption is made that these two groups are in need of this valuable information. The assumption is based on a 20-year study into the murders of more than 20,000 American women. Certain conclusions were made during this study. The conclusions were that many women do not recognize they are in danger. They do not recognize the danger signs in their relationships that can lead to their murders. Many women are oblivious to the danger. This information is not taught in the home, and it is not taught in schools. Therefore, women are exceedingly vulnerable to violence due to their lack of knowledge. 2 women were shot to death in 2016 in the city of Oak Park, Michigan. The women were sisters, which means that the women supported one another throughout their lives. I believe that these 2 women could have possibly escaped this violence if they had had more information regarding violence against women. If they had known that the most dangerous time for any woman is when she either separates from a man or boyfriend or when she's moving out of the home. No woman should attempt this action unless it is carefully planned, and the woman should leave without the spouse or boyfriend knowing where she has gone. Never give the spouse or boyfriend knowledge that you want to leave him. Never go back to the home for items that you have left. When you leave, leave and plan never to come back. Leave the state. In the book, Life Saving Advice, you learn violence against women and children is not a man versus women issue. Violence against women and children has nothing to do with the war of the sexes, and it has nothing to do with homosexuality or with a woman wearing the pants in the family. Violence against women and children is about equality and about sovereignty and about freedom and about power. Violence against women and children is a community issue, and violence against women and children should be seen as a community issue by all groups in our society. The church should see violence against women and children as a community issue. The police should see violence against women and children as a community issue. The legislature should see violence against women and children as a community issue. And the judiciary should see violence against women and children as a community issue. Once the women and men in this country see violence against women and children as a community issue affecting our stability as a nation, we will see it is time for us to change. It is time for America to attempt the greatest social change it has ever conducted since the freeing of the black slaves, because violence against women and children strikes at the soul of our consciousness and the reputation of America as being a free and just nation. Violence against women and children is not a pleasant subject for conversation, and many people simply ignore the violence around them or pretend it doesn't exist even when they see violence occurring in their own family. Nevertheless, violence against women and children is a real issue. Your daughter and your grandchildren are being injured or murdered every day, so this issue must be confronted by the entire community if the violence is to stop. The book Life Saving Advice states apathy is not the answer. Action is the answer. And in order to take action, you must have information. Thus, the purpose of the book and our website, touchedbythelight.us. After reading this book, we ask that you visit our other website, www.nisv.info, and download our free ebooks that will give you some of the information that you will need. The book Life Saving Advice demonstrates that violence against women is taking an enormous emotional and financial toll on this country. Every day, our sons and daughters are falling prey to the seduction of sex and drugs. Our children are being led to believe a man should do anything for money, including selling his body for sex. Our children are also being taught integrity is spelled CHEAT. If you can't win, cheat. Man should do whatever he has to do to get ahead. It is okay to lie, cheat, and steal. It's okay to sell women and children. Deceit is all a part of the game. 12 and 13-year-old girls are being taught to dress seductively without being mature enough to have custody of their bodies. Statutory rape is no longer vigorously prosecuted in this country, allowing for the wholesale seduction of young children. We cannot sit in church and hope that the problem will go away. We must fight. We must have courage in face of adversity to stand up if we are to live our lives in peace and harmony. We must break through the barriers of fear. We must decide if what we fear is more dangerous to us than doing nothing. We can no longer sit in huddles and gossip about the next door neighbor or your friend's husband. You must make a contribution to society. Your contribution can be as little as becoming informed and teaching your children about integrity and character and respecting themselves and others. Or you can go beyond collecting information and participating in the elevation of the self-esteem of those living around you. Either way, you will be making a difference and a contribution to your society and to your community and to yourself. The survival of any people is predicated on the lives of the young and how well a community changes. History has taught us that the survival of any species is predicated on the adaptation and change. We must now seriously consider changing if we are to survive as a nation that our forefathers designed. Please take time to go to our website, touchedbythelight.us, and read the first chapter of this book. We believe you will be impressed and you'll find that there's information in this book that can help you and members of your family.
For just $13.95, we'll give you a book that will save your life. Not your life alone, but for the entire woman you interact with. Life-Saving Advice is a book by a woman who has seen it all. The 248-page black and white print gives you massive insight to identify potential danger around you. It outlines the characteristics of harmful people likely to put your life at risk. Isn't it life-saving? Hurry now. Go to https://touchedbythelight.us/regular publications instantly and obtain your copy. Making an excuse is easy. The consequences are fussy. In fact, we always find ourselves failing to achieve our goals because we succeed in making excuses. The good news is, the author of What You Must Do to Win has yet another book for you. The Cure You Need for a Change. What You Need to Win. The book title speaks it all. Reading its 276 pages is worth it. Be a courage woman to read and inspire others. Go to https://touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications and get your copy now for only $14.95. Life is at its best when you get to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, at times we lose our way and land in the valley. Adversity comes and shakes us in fear. What do you do at such a time? Where do you get your strength when it's gone? Be Not Defeated in Hard Times is the book you need to overcome such fears and gain back your strength. It's cheap, $10.95 only. To purchase this book, log into https://touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications before it's out of stock. Are you a woman seeking solace? Or are you a woman in need of the comfort of prayers? Or are you one distressed and disturbed? It doesn't matter your niche. The Prayer Jar is a book just for you. It deserves your study table. The author, a fellow woman, writes this book inspirationally to address your prayer needs in every situation. The book does not only bring you closer to God, but it also leads you to a mature prayerful life. The printing is in black and white. Don't wait. Go to https://touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications to get your copy instantly for $14.95 only. The Prayer Jar, a Christian book for your prayer life.
I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
For just $13.95, we'll give you a book that will save your life. Not your life alone, but for all the women you interact with. Life-Saving Advice is a book by Gloria Lee. The 248-page black and white print gives you massive insight to identify potential dangers around you. It outlines the characteristics of harmful people likely to put your life at risk. Isn't it life-saving? Hurry now. Go to touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications instantly and obtain your copy. Making an excuse is easy. The consequences are fussy. In fact, we always find ourselves failing to achieve our goals because we succeed in making excuses. The good news is, Gloria Lee has yet another book for you. The Cure You Need for a Change. What You Need to Win. The book title speaks it all. Reading its 276 pages is worth it. Be the first woman to read and inspire others. Go to touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications and get your copy now for only $14.95.
Murdered Voices is not a murder mystery or a thriller where the victim is put on public display. Murdered Voices is a book that is the preamble to the examination of the murders of 252,287 American women, giving recognition to their lives. Murdered Voices is filled with information that is not commonly known, which we want to share with you. We want the American woman to believe something can be done to prevent the rapes and murders that are occurring across our country. Some of you may want to sit at home and pretend all is well, but every time your daughter walks out of your home, the possibilities that she may not return grows exponentially. The only chance she has to survive is if you stand up, become informed, and participate in a defense of yourself. Also, for you to say, "My husband loves me," in the face of adultery is comparable to committing suicide. There is nothing wrong with loving a man and being careful, but not foolish at the same time. Just because you are married does not mean your brain has to stop working. 2 + 2 = 4, whether you are married or single. The question is, why does he want to take a large life insurance policy out on your life? For example, the policies that were taken out on Miss Sherry Dolly, Miss Lena Dukes, Miss Treese Wilbury, Miss Marion Ills, Miss Carol Bruce, Miss Nanette Hanson, Miss Leslie Larson, Miss Kathy Frost, Miss Kathy Frost Larson. These women are all dead now. Their husbands took out large insurance policies on their lives. Their husbands took out large insurance policies on their lives, but the couple did not have any children. Would it not help you to know how other women were murdered in this country and the signs that led up to their deaths? Do you not think this information would improve your chances of survival? Murdered Voices is a book that should be read by women and men alike. The reason why this book should be read by men and women alike is because someday you will be a parent, and it is your instructions day in and day out that will save your child's life once they enter the world as adults. You must not insulate your children from the evils of the world. If you do this, your children will be ill prepared to protect themselves. Some people lie, some people cheat, and some people steal, and your children should know this and expect violence to be visited upon them at any moment by anyone, friend or foe. Murdered Voices discusses life and death in the most realistic terms. It is a frank discussion about the number of women being murdered in this country. Murdered Voices is not sentimentally read to tug at your heartstrings. The book offers a frank picture of what is occurring all over America. The sole purpose of the book Murdered Voices is to provide information as to how women are being murdered in this country and to offer information to help women protect themselves, both young and old. This information is food for thought for parents of young children. This is important information because women represent more than half of this country's population, yet they do not have the custody of their bodies, nor do they have political power to enact laws to govern their safety. Let me repeat this. The information that is being shared in the book Women of Courage is food for thought for both parents of young children. This is important information because women represent more than half of this country's population, yet they do not have custody of their bodies, nor do they have the political power to enact laws to govern their safety. Women must finally understand that violence is a necessary component to wielding control in a society, in a marriage, and violence is practiced every day by men seeking to maintain this control. Women must finally understand unless they stand up, there will always be someone telling them what to do, directing the course of their lives, and guaranteeing the destruction of their daughters. Women must finally understand that their enslavement is tied to the nation's economy. I'm going to repeat this. Women must finally understand that violence is a necessary component to wielding control in society and in a marriage, and violence is practiced every day by men seeking to maintain this control. Women must finally understand unless they stand up, there will always be someone telling them what to do, directing the courses of their lives, and guaranteeing the destruction of their daughters. Women must finally understand that their enslavement is tied to the nation's economy. It is no accident that women are taught to be prejudiced against prostitutes. Society teaches you to dislike these women. Why should I care about a woman who sells her body? You should care because these women are forced into prostitution and the money made off their labor is being used to ensnare you and enslave you. It is no accident that women are smuggled into this country every day to be sold so men can make money, and it's no accident that women are taught it's more important to have a large buttocks or a big breast than have an expansive mind. Read Murdered Voices with an open mind. Granted, no one wants to learn about the murder of a woman and face the fact that we live in a violent nation. But it's better to know what is going on around you than to wake up one morning facing the death of your daughter on a college campus or the death of your elderly mother at the hands of a dope addict. Read and prepare to change your mind and become involved. Here are a few words from the author of the book Murdered Voices. During the publication of this book, I spoke to 3 men. Each man made a negative comment regarding the reading of the book. One man said that no one would read each individual name on the list in the book. The second man said no one would purchase the book because people were too busy worrying about money to read or to purchase a book. In hard times, no one buys books. What American woman would be interested in what I had to say and purchase the book? The third man said some of the books were too large, that no woman would take the time to read the books. He said the number of pages in each book would immediately turn women off. No woman or man would purchase a book consisting of 400 to 500 pages. Needless to say, I was disheartened for a second. Then I sat and thought about their comments. Their words were not complimentary to women or to people in general. There's nothing to life during hard times but meat and potatoes. Greatness has descended on the earth. Life was so brutal that reading could be ignored. I decided to persevere. These men had to be wrong. I continued to believe that reading, regardless of the number of pages in a book, is seen as an activity that enriches the soul and enlightens the mind, leading men and women to greater and greater heights and inventions. The fate of America will be decided by how well we nourish our minds and assimilate information to continue our growth. I decided that I shall continue to believe that people will see that reading leads to a better life. When you read, you can learn to eat healthier and to be a better manager of your money and life. Reading allows you to quickly prepare for a dinner party or help you impress a friend. When you read, you are open to adventure and confidence bathes your spirit. Reading is the commencement of light and the cessation of darkness. Reading is the activity that puts the soul to flight. If you desire a change in the status and wealth of your life, then reading is an activity that you can ill afford not to do. You can go to the website touchedbythelight.us and read the first chapter of this book. Murdered Voices will enhance your life. I am going to repeat some information that we discussed earlier, I think in our 5th session. This is very important. You must have some information about yourself in order to change. You must have an idea of your self-image. You must have an idea of your self-esteem, whether you have what we would consider a normal self-esteem or low self-esteem. This is very important if you're going to attempt a change. If you are not satisfied with the person who you are, then you must change that person. But in order to change that person, you need tools. Modern day life is filled with many sources of anxiety and emotional pressures. There is an increasing need to excel at everything and fast. At work, family, friendships all require an individual's attention. We are all chasing something, sometimes driven by our own desire and often too trying to meet these societal bars and measures of prosperity that have been ingrained into us since childhood. Amidst this rat race that always has us always grasping for something or some reprieve and hanging on to any source of comfort that we can find, there are still those among us who try to drag us down with a lack of faith. It is difficult to understand why anyone would choose to put out negative energy toward the people around them. We are all just trying to get by and achieve our life's goals. It is troubling to have to deal with unnecessary, unproductive criticism and naysaying. In order to thrive, it is important that one finds the boldness to rise above the soothsayers of doom. Undoubtedly, it is a difficult task, especially when the naysayers are loved ones who ought to be cheering you on to greater heights. There are loved ones who are naysayers, and they will repeatedly say negative things to you each and every day. Why? Because they hate themselves, because they know you're striving toward a goal and they are not. I say some naysayers are loved ones who ought to be cheering you on to greater heights. Except it is probably worth remembering that non-belief is their chosen path. And while you may desire their support and encouragement, you cannot force it out of them. Only an individual in their heart of hearts truly understand what outcomes and achievements they want and hope for out of their own lives. It is important to focus on those life goals and work toward them. One must remain strong against odds, encouraging themselves that it will indeed all come to fruition. Just as darkness cannot drive out darkness, you would be hard pressed to overcome non belief without being tenacious enough to stand in faith. What I am saying is leave the naysayers. I don't care if they're in your family. Avoid them, move across town, change your phone number, whatever. But leave the naysayers to themselves because they are not going to change. And you cannot change them. If you want to make something of yourself, you have to focus. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to eliminate Instagram, Facebook, time wasted even on YouTube, Twitter, video games, Netflix, Tripod, all the apps, having beer, hanging out with your friends on the weekend. You have got to be willing to sacrifice all of that energy that you use for the above things. You have to focus that energy on new goals. Now, people are going to come around you. Let's go on Facebook. Let's go out for a beer. Let's play a video game. Say no and leave the area. You must focus on your new goals. Success is not free. You pay for it by hard work and focusing. The more things you throw on the fire, the more you will be able to focus. You need to research how to develop focus, how to develop laser-like focus, how to pick a niche and become a specialist, how to become a completely different person, how to become a new and completely different person, how to become a new you, and how to obtain your goals at ease. Recovering your life from foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, or other personal tragedies is not easy, but you must believe. You may be wounded, broken, battered, and hurt by life, but you must stand up and fight. People often say, when you're going through hell, never give up. It's easy for someone to say this, but talk is cheap. But you are in a place where every turn you take are met with a challenge or trouble, one thing after another. I'm not here to simply tell you not to give up. I understand what it means to be going through what you're going through right now. I slept on a cement floor being bitten by spiders to survive. However, I'm here to tell you that change is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you must hang on and do as I tell you. Yes, change is possible. I want you to hope and to believe against even all evidence. Despair is no respecter of status. It is no respecter of age, background, gender, or color. Somewhere right now there is a child crying, a man high on drugs, a mother dancing in a club just to pay her bills. Somewhere right now out there is a person heartbroken, a loss of a dear one, a failed promise of love. Somewhere out there is a person clothed in rags, without a home, without affection, and without a family, and without love. Somewhere right now, someone out there is broken, going through a rough time. I say unto you, hold on, stand fast. You can restore and recover your life. You must believe that you are worth fighting for, regardless of what the world says. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When the doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, and I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days, I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I do not know, but I will find out for you. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child. Saying I do not know is a courage, not a weakness. Have the courage to say I do not know, then go and ask a librarian to help you. Your child will learn his or her self-esteem and self-confidence from you. When you ask for help, it lets your child know there is no weakness in asking for help to obtain knowledge. Everyone in his or her lifetime will have to ask for help from someone. Your child will learn from your flexibility and courage. You can get more information on Women of Courage at touchedbythelight.us. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage.
Change your life by listening to the Women of Courage show on WHPR 88.1 FM every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. We can be reached at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Join us at the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.